Hello there, got a brand new product to show you and a cute little mould I got very cheap from Amazon. Now, the new product is Flourish paste in black. What is Flourish paste, Tracy? I'm glad you asked. I've got it in a load of colours now, but this is a brand new colour. I shall explain more shortly. Now, the other thing I'm doing here is I keep getting asked questions about detailing on very detailed moulds, and this one looks pretty detailed to me. Look at all that. There's lots of different ways of tackling this, and I might do a whole video just on a load of different ways of tackling it shortly, but this is the one I seem to get asked about most. So we are going to use a Flourish paste to do the details on this mould. Now, while I'm mixing the resin up, which is Apex 1 coat, which is great for shallow pours, it's very thick as well. It's great for shallow pours and it will really fast, which is really handy. So while I'm mixing that up, I'll tell you about Flourish paste. This is the stuff, and this is the new colour, which apparently is my fault. I've had Valley of the Kings, which is a beautiful gold, and Snowflake, and various other ones. Look at all these colours for a while. They're absolutely beautiful, aren't they? And they are a thick paste for, well, detailing and texturising your resin. You can do all sorts of things with it. It sticks like crazy. It's got a binder in it and an anti-yellowing agent. And you can just apply it with your finger if you want. Anyway, I'll show you how it is so exceptionally good for doing this sort of thing. And I'm going to use the new one, which is the black. It's called Death Valley. Now, this has come about because I've been using the other colours and thinking they were so marvellous. And I said to Lou at Create and Bloom, could do with a black, please, for this sort of thing. And lo and behold, he's done it. So our first step is just going to be to get some colours into this mould and let it cure. And then I'll show you how to do it. And then the final thing I will do is do another one where we'll actually do a bit of each of these colours so we can see them all in action. That might be useful, mightn't it? So, 2 makes coming up, but let's get this first one done and I'll show you this brand new colour. So, in terms of colours, because I'm going to be using Death Valley, which is the black one, I'm going to go for fairly pale colours, but I have got, so we have a lilac one called Delphinium. It's a very pastel pale lilac. These colours are also from Create and Bloom, by the way. I'm going to be a bit of a Create and Bloom fest today. But this is one of my favourites of the colour range. Thick paste, so a long way. You don't need much to get your colour. Look how that has gone completely opaque already. I was tempted to do these with transparent colours so we could get the stained glass effect. That's a thing we could try at some point too. The next one I want will be Aquilegia, which is a little bit darker. Well, it's quite a bit darker. It's rather beautiful, not too dark. I know Lou takes a lot of inspiration for the colours, actually from her garden and from nature. And her daughters help her name them all as well. She's got two young girls. So she's very much inspired by all the nature that she sees around her. Which is lovely, isn't it? That's kind of how the world should work. Now the final one I'm going to do, I'm going to go for Apple Blossom, which is almost white. It's just got the faintest tinge of pink. And into this, if you'll forgive me, Lou, I'm going to put a little bit of my Super Sparkle White. Simply because I fancied a bit of shimmer as well. Not too much. There we are, that'll go a long way. That's the 200 mesh one, so it's the very fine sparkle. It should take some of the whiteness off because it's got that very pale pink in it. There we go, that's lovely. And it's just done. Maybe a little bit more shimmer. These little pots of pigment are so immensely strong. They last an awful long time. They really do. Some of the pots of these I've had for, I'm trying to think how much I've used them. There we go, just got a little bit of shimmer to the pink. Very subtle, you can barely see it, that's what I wanted. But it's barely pink. Lovely. Now, what I want to try and do is I go around in rings of colour, a bit like you would if you were sort of doing a bloom or something. I want it to fade out. Now, let's start in the middle with pale lilac. Sorry, Delphinium. Let's get our colours and our names right. Have a blob of that. And I think I'll also put a blob of it out round somewhere like this. See how pale that is. Isn't that lovely? It's really subtle. Gorgeous. I've got a little bit of clear left in my pot still, so it looks a different colour because it's against quite turquoisey. Yes, I've got a little bit of clear left in my pot just in case I need it as well. So this one is Aqualegia. And I'm going to go around the edges. I might need a bit more resin here actually. I may have underestimated just how much this mould takes. I don't want it too deep anyway. It's going to be just a funky coaster, I think. Put the links for everything I'm using down in the video description as usual. There's, yes, as I say, the mould I got from Amazon, fairly cheap one. And obviously the colours are from Create and Bloom, and the resin is from Apex. And on the resin I have got a discount code for you, so don't forget to grab that, will you? Right, now a pinky whitey one. It's funny, because of the colour of this mould, it makes everything look a completely different colour. Very strange. So I'm just going to empty these pots out completely now. And then I'll probably just add a little bit of clear just to fill it up. And here's our clear. So I'm just going to drizzle the clear all over it, so just to break it up. Blend it out a little bit. That'll be enough. We don't necessarily need it thick, not for the purposes of what we're doing today. And finally, I'm going to go in with a little bit of Supreme White, because I've just decided I'm going to. Science, just doing it. Supreme White is from Apex Resin as well, by the way. So we're just going to drizzly loop glue like this and see what happens. Trying to get the looping right out to the edges as well. This could end up as just a big mess. I'm hoping not. God will end up with... We'll see. We know white tends to stink, so this could do anything. This is a really nice pure white. It doesn't look it. It's really weird. All the colours look strange today. And it's because of the colour of this little mould. What I might do is just put a bit of clear in the centre to push and pull a bit and leave it at that. Just going to do a bit of this sort of thing carefully. We'll scratch the mould, obviously. Just kind of want the colours to do something a bit interesting. You're not going to see so much of the what they do anyway, because we're going to go in with all that detailing. But just thought, rather than just do it all one colour, this will do anything. We're hoping to get some sort of a petally sort of soft natural look. Don't bother with glitter in the centre, I don't think. Not overly necessary. And I'll see you in a couple of hours. This stuff should be able to demould in a couple of hours, I think. I'll see you later. Right, we have got a splat. There we go. We should be able to demould it now. I hope what I've ended up with is a kind of pinky purple. So I hope what we've ended up with is a kind of lilac-y, pale, patterny, something a bit interesting. Yay! So there we go. That's rather good, isn't it? Still a little bit bendy, actually. But we've got some colour variation. What do you think, Kermit? Kermit approves. Yes, so we've got a bit of colour variation in there, which is what I wanted. And then I want to show you how this stuff works. This bloom paste. And I think it's absolutely spot on for this. What I might do, actually, rather than do a separate make to show you the different colours, I will use the new one, Death Valley, which is the black one. And then I think I might use the Valley of the Kings gold one. There are, what have we got? We've got Caspian Sea, we've got the pink, which is, oh, it's more of a lilac-y, Lavender Fields, that one. We have got that lovely, what's that one called? Wild Rose, isn't that pretty? And what's that one? Rainforest. Is that all? I think I've got all of the Flourish pastes. Oh, there's the silvery one too. But I'm thinking, if I show you these two, this will give us a good contrast. And the first thing you must do is put gloves on. I'm not saying put gloves on, because this is in any shape or form dangerous. It is... Now, I'm not saying put gloves on because this is in any shape or form dangerous. It absolutely isn't. It's just that the pigments in it are really, really strong. And if you get it on your hands and on your nice new manicure, you won't get it off. So this is why I favour this over using acrylic paints for doing this effect. Because what you don't want is it coming off. Now, acrylic paints, they are good for this sort of thing, but it can chip off. So let's have a look at what we've got. Now, as you can see, I'm just opening this for the very first time. I think this may be the first time this has been seen on camera in use. Unless Lou has popped it on her Instagram and I've not spotted it yet. Lou did say that this pigment is the worst she's ever worked with, as in getting it off your hands. So if Lou says that, she's not kidding. Take that seriously. Don't get it on your hands. Comes off my gloves okay, but then these are nitrile gloves. So anyway, yes. What we're going to do then is give it a little stir. And as you can see, it's not just black, it sparkles. So we're going to stir it up. Now you always want to give it a stir because it will settle. All this pretty sparkliness will settle. So always give it a good stir before you get going. And then we're going to put some onto our piece. And I'm just going to put a big dollop in the middle. So now that is quite a big dollop. I'm going to pop the lid back on. It's quite thick. You can see that is still staying domed up. I don't know how far that's going to go. Now you can do this with your finger, but I quite like to do a bit of this. This is just a silicone spatula. Now this patterning in this mould, there's quite a lot of it. Actually, I think I will just get in there with my fingers. Stop mamby-pamby and tracing. Oops, that's the wrong one. Where's it gone? That's the one. Because what we're trying to do is get it down into all those little lines and then wipe off the surplus. So I'm going to spread it a bit like this with my stirry stick first. Now, of course, what you could do, and this is how I might use the gold in a minute, is use it on the highlights instead of into the holes. I hope I'm making sense. I think I'm fucking up to rubbish myself. Never mind. I'm going to get through a lot of cloths. It also cures quite quickly, although I am applying it quite thick. So it might take a little while. So you kind of need to get on with this. I'm not, when I say quite quickly, I don't mean fast. I just mean you're not going to have to wait days for it to cure or anything. I bet even with it on this thick, it'll be dry within a couple of hours. So can you see what's happening? It's going down into those grooves. Have a bit more. This is quite a big piece, to be fair. A little pot like this should go an awful long way. I'm being really liberal. Lou will be cringing. Lou, I'm going to be after another pot at some point. This is quite a big, like I said, there's a lot of detail in this mould. It might not be the most practical demonstration piece, but it will show what I'm talking about quite well because it's big. So I'm just thinking of how it's going to be nice and visible on camera. Normally you'd obviously go quite sparing with it, wouldn't you? Those of you who saw what I did at Christmas with the Christmas decorations that I used the gold Valley of the Kings one for, will know what I mean. Normally you only need the tiniest bit. I'm going to get in here with my finger in a minute and make sure we've got it down into all of the little nooks and crannies. This is just the easiest way to spread it out. Fun, actually. Because I'm going to let this dry. Once we've got that all in there, let's get as much as I can off my little silicone spatula thingy. So we're going to wipe away the surplus now. Now you do need to do this while it's still wet. It's really going to take some doing to clean my mat up, actually. And there probably will be quite a lot of surplus because I did go quite liberal to make sure that it got into all the places I needed it to. And we should end up with it in all of those nooks and crannies. Now you might find a dry cloth better for this. I'll leave that to you to experiment. Can you see where I'm going with it? Yes, I am making an almighty mess, but it's coming away from all the top surfaces. Like I said, we'll put some detail in afterwards with the gold. So now we've got the majority of it off. I'm just going to go across with a dry cloth, which I am sacrificing. Yes, I am. I know this is probably never going to survive this. So you can see where this is going. What we do next is we wait for that to dry. You can see I've got the majority of it off. It's just left it in all of the recesses. It has stained the resin a bit more than I wanted it to. So I might go in there with a little bit of a micro brush here and there. But let's see what it looks like after we've put the gold in later. Right, so as you can see, this is coming out rather nicely. It's showing all those, the sparkly black has gone into the recessed areas. We've got the raised areas now pretty much clear, although I have got some of the black sparkle on it, so it has kind of muted the colours slightly, but I think that's rather nice. Now, Valley of the Kings. Looks cream when you take the top off, doesn't it? But look at the sparkle. Here it comes. So what I'm going to do with this is round the edges and little touches here and there. And I'm going to do this, I think, with a finger because I think it might be easier. So one finger coming up. This is going to get messy. It's part of the fun, though. So I think I want some gold around the inner bit of that centre. And this time, as you can see, I'm just touching it on the tops, not going into the recesses. So we're going to have a little bit of the colour coming through still and some sparkle. And then the same again around this rim here. I'm not worried if I'm getting bits where I shouldn't do. I think it's giving a nice texture. So can you see what's going on? It's just giving it that little bit of a something. And because of the black, I went a bit mad there, didn't I? Because of the black underlying it, it has muted the colours that little bit. Oh, you know what? I'm really liking this around the edge. Let's go a bit mad. Carry on around the edge trace. So there you are. You've got your choice. You can either go on like this onto the raised areas, or you can do the apply and then wipe off thing that I did with the black. You've got some choices. It's one of those things you can play with. Now, don't forget this stuff was designed to be like a multimedia product as well. So it actually works on all sorts of surfaces. I've actually accidentally got some on a wine glass. I can't get it off that either. By golly, it sticks well. Now what I'm going to do is go around these edges as well. So if you fancy a change from your edging pens and you want something that's a bit more textured, try this. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Now you've seen the colour range. I did show you, didn't I? I've lost a lot of the purple there, haven't I? Which is a shame. Because I went a bit too mad with the black. Well, and the gold now. But if you... So there is that full colour range. I could be doing around the edges here in purple, couldn't I? Could be. Because there's a beautiful lilac-y colour. Lavender it's called, wasn't it? Pink, that would look nice. It's beautiful stuff, it really is. Honestly, you can use it on anything. Anything that you don't want it to come off. I don't know what this magical binder is that Lou told me about that holds it on. But as she quite rightly pointed out, you don't want it to come off, do you? And this won't. You can't scratch it off, you can't wipe it off. I've tried my Wonder Wipes on it. They only work when it's wet, and even then, they don't get 100% off. So what a nice alternative. And look how antique-y sort of thing that looks. What do you think? I've kind of lost the purple, but never mind. The purple's still on the back. But what do you think of that, folks? Flourish paste. So that was Death Valley, the new one, and Valley of the Kings is the gold one. The other colours, yes, I've buried them rather. We've lost them a bit. See what I mean about it not coming off? But all the colours were from Create and Bloom as well, and the mould was from Amazon. So, Lou at Create and Bloom, another awesome product, and thank you for producing that. I shall be playing with it because there's a multitude of things I wanted a black one for. So, more to come with this lovely new product. Now, don't forget, everyone, the links for everything that you have seen here in this video are down in the video description below. Enjoy, and I will see you for the next video. You know where the buttons are if you'd like to subscribe, so I can keep you up to date. Take care, everyone. Bye.